let her get started, and then we'll talk more in about basically the back office, just reviewing a few things on there, and how the Visa card, how to order your Visa card, and how the whole mechanism of that is going to be working. But thank you, Cole, for the information. As usual, we get good details. I also get to learn a few new things when when presentations are happening. So I usually tell everybody to make notes, and it's good knowledge to have, because in the future we'll be able to, mining is going to become more mainstream in the future. Nodes are going to become more mainstream. Proof of space is going to become more mainstream. So it's better to have an early adoption to it. Because sometimes it's not always about the finance, sometimes it's more about having that knowledge and understanding. So thank you, Cole, again, for coming on and giving us your time. I'm going to hand it to Kim. I am going to make her co-host, and 1 quick second.
Okay, see everybody. I'll see you next week. I'm looking very forward. Yeah, see you, Tom. I see you waving there. Yeah. And then Abraham, I look forward to getting that group chat started up this week. That'll be a really good stepping stone. Yeah,
that is
right.
my
That'll be a good.
That is my next thing that I'm going to do today, and I'll give you a call if I need any help in setting that up again.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Looking forward to seeing everyone in the group chat. Okay, cheers.
Thank you, Paul. Take care. Cheers. So I'm going to give it to Kim to continue on teaching us how to, really utilize social media, because that is where the trend is right now. Is everybody's on social media. People are doing crazy stuff and making money, and people are doing decent stuff and making money. So we just want to show everybody how to do the decent things and not make videos, TikTok videos of jumping off poles and eating, raw chicken or something like that.
Oh my God.
Hand it to Kim to continue.
All right. Thank you, everybody. If you don't know me by now, I'm Kimberly. I'm from Vancouver, BC. I see some new faces here and some familiar faces online. Hi, Tom. I want to say Tom, shout out, because I just love how engaged you are in when we do these calls, because it's really nice when we do see people's faces in the cameras, because we can actually talk to somebody or some sort of like human being behind the screen. So I really appreciate you, Tom. All right, so our social media prompts for marketing, this is like digital marketing. As Abraham said, online marketing has grown quite a bit. And whether we like it or not, it is going to grow, and it is a way to make income and passive income. So everybody is like, hey, well, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I don't know what to post. So this is why we started this last week, and this is part 2. And if you weren't on the call last week, I'm just going to recap really quickly what we talked about previously to give you guys some like a warm up and kind of brainstorm a little bit more about it as we go into our next 10. So if you didn't see this, go watch the recording from last week, or just quickly jot this down here as I put it up. So the first one that we put up was introduce yourself online, 5 fun facts. If you don't have 5 fun facts about yourself, then maybe you need to work on yourself to make yourself more fun, or just put 1 or put 3, right? It doesn't have to be, this is just a suggestion, doesn't have to be exactly what we tell you to do. This is more to get your creative juices growing and kind of exploring your own, what you want to kind of portray online as who you are, because people want to know the person behind the screen, right? Behind the Instagram post, behind that. They want to build a relationship with you. And then in that sense, they want to, if they like you, they'll start to follow you, right? Once they see a post or your page, it really takes them like 7 seconds to decide if they want to follow you or not. So you want to like represent yourself as best as possible. So number 2 was we said post about a role model in your life. It could be in your network, family, it could be someone in your business, or it could be someone famous that you look up to. You never know how many similarities you'll have with other people that like the same person. You can post an accomplishment that you had in your life, whether it's personal, business, and this could be in New Era business or your own business as well, because remember, in New Era, we teach people how to excel in their own business as well. Number 4 was introduce your business. So 5 fun facts about your business, like what is your business? What do you do? That sort of thing. Number 5 was 5 life goals, personal or professional. So kind of like your bucket list on something that you want to accomplish before your time, right? So like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go bungee jumping? Do you want to go skydiving? Do you want to get a tattoo or something like that? Doesn't have to be so super crazy. It could just be, I always wanted to get a dog, right? Or maybe in professional wise, you've wanted to, maybe make 100K a year, or maybe you want to hit like a really big goal or a rank that you have in mind in New Era. Number 6, favorite piece of advice that inspires you daily. So something that you stand by, a quote, a scripture, anything that you really stick by and really feel like it's helped you in your life. A testimony for your product or service is always good because people like to see reviews. They always want to see, okay, well, okay, Tom's posting about this thing and he says it's great, but even though I believe in Tom, let me see what other people are saying. So it's nice to actually have other people talk about a testimony that they've done, that they've received from your product or your service or your business in general. I know a lot of people on the New Era team we've shared testimonials on how it's helped them passively pay for their car bill or pay for their daughter's rent passively, and they don't have to worry about that anymore. There's a lot of testimonies that you could use if you don't know personally or don't have one yet. Number 8 was shout out to a team or a mentor. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. Mentor or supporter in your business or in your life that you just want to, maybe take a picture of and post about them, or a video, and just write something on the caption saying that, this person, like Tom, he's been so supportive during my Zoom calls. He's super engaged and it makes me feel like I'm really like helping other people. You can do that. Number 9, why did you get started? Share something that you can be vulnerable so that people can really see the real you and why you're doing this. Sometimes when people see people's business pages, they're like, oh, they just want to make money. They're just trying to sell me stuff. Well, the best business is actually not selling anything. It's actually just sharing something that you believe in, that why you got started, and people are just joining you for you, right? They're not really joining the product or the service. They're trying to see what you're doing, like, you know what, they're doing that, I want to do that too, and do it together. Number 10, advice to the young you. So something that you wish you knew 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Hey Christian, nice to see you on camera, drive safely. Yeah, something like that. So those are 10 things. So we're gonna jump into the next 10 here. Nature is always nice to look at when people see a post of somewhere really nice. So for me, like, I have a lot of happy places, but post a picture of a place that makes you really happy. Anything really in the islands with palm trees makes me happy. I put Hawaii here because Hawaii is so beautiful. I know it's a little bit full of tourists now and there's a lot more people and whatever, but my husband's from Fiji, so when we went to Fiji, it was like paradise. There was like the whole, like, the water, the blue waters or the clear waters and the palm trees just makes me so happy. So, you post that and you can say, maybe you're planning a trip there soon or something, or maybe you're planning one in a few years or have a goal to. You can post that on social media and start to stir up conversations. Sometimes people say, I have no friends on Facebook, or I don't talk to anybody. These posts help you engage with other people without you having to say, hey, I want to show you something. Hey, I want, like, like the whole DMs thing. Sometimes people don't look at those anymore. So this is kind of just casting your net again, like I mentioned before, and seeing who's gonna bite, right, into your conversations. And then you get to learn about each other and actually have some sort of commonality with somebody, and start that communication, right? Next one would be network marketing advice to someone else starting their business. So there's so many quotes out there. There's so much advice out there that you can give. I picked a couple just to kind of give you some ideas. It always seems impossible until it's done. So in network marketing, we always look at the people that are ranking up so high and we're like, wow, how did they do that? Like, there's no way they like have 10,000 people on their team, or like, how did they make 10,000 in that week, or all this and that. I used to think that was impossible too. And I remember one time I was like, this crazy goal that's like, we just started, and it was like 7 grand in 7 days. And I was like, whoa, I was like, that's impossible. And I actually hit that. And I was like, wow, like, you always think that something is so crazy and so far out reach until you do it. So really, just the advice for me is like, just do it and try to get to your goal, and you'll actually be quite amazed of how those things that you thought were impossible are actually possible. Also, new mindset, new results. So sometimes we get bogged down with our negativity, or like, oh, I can't do this. Nobody's talking to me. I have no friends. I don't know how to build. I have no one to talk to. It's really just your mindset, right? Like, yeah, maybe you don't have a lot of people to talk to, but maybe you have to retrain your brain and be like, okay, if I don't have a lot of friends and I don't know who to talk to, maybe I need to go out and meet people. So you can get have new ideas, have a new mindset, be more positive, and then you'll get different results than the ones that you keep getting over and over again. Another one is you can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. So I always hear people in network marketing say, like everyone's saying no, like nobody wants to join, or like no one's messaging me back, no one wants to come to my events. But we can't control the uncontrollable. We can't control other people. We can only control ourselves. And that's something that I always stand by too, is that we can only just change or pivot what we do to try to get, again, different results, right? So that's something that I think I've held on to for a very long time in terms of reacting to things, or like if there's a problem or like something's happening and it's like crazy, it's like, oh my God, like instead of going into panic mode or going downhill and like going to a rabbit hole thinking like, oh my gosh, this is never going to happen, and get into a dark place, you just got to stop. It's like, okay, well, I can't control what that person says or what that person wants. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe it's not, they don't have the money. They really don't have the time and all that. But I can control myself. So I'll just wait and just, that's not a no forever. That's just a no right now. Come back later to that person, or try different things. But there is so many people in the world, and because we have internet, like we literally can reach everyone. So that's why we want to encourage people to get on social media and get out there and try to reach as many people as they can, because you just never know who you're going to inspire. You never know who you're going to who's going to see your post and really be like, you know what, I really like Tom's post, or like, you know what, Christian just like made this post about something that I'm really interested in. Maybe I'll message him. A lot of people are going through a lot of things. Like people are, ever since the pandemic and stuff, people are kind of scared to socialize nowadays. People are like, don't know what people are thinking, and they're very like, they have a lot of anxiety now, and people are just like want to keep to themselves. And with this kind of business, we're just people, right? We're our business is people. Our business is relationship building. So, get out there, even though you feel uncomfortable, even though you feel weird or whatever, just know that your purpose and your end result is actually going to cause more positivity into the world or into someone's life. You just never know who you're gonna touch. Behind the scenes, so sharing the inside detail of your life. So if you were on the call yesterday, you saw my child whining a little bit and like getting on my lap, and so this is kind of like a snapshot of me. So if if that's your honest truth behind the scenes, if you have loads of dishes or loads of laundry and you haven't done this, like maybe you want to share like, hey, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. Yes, I do business and my business is successful and I have goals, but yeah, I'm a human being too. And then that can be a lesson in itself, right? It doesn't have to be everything. It doesn't have to be so perfect. And the background doesn't have to be like super clean and whatever. Just like, yep, this is me. And that depends on how you want it to be, right? Or maybe you just want to post about you gardening or something, being like, you know what, I'm so glad I don't work like 3 jobs like I used to. I actually have time to go garden and kind of like smell the roses, stop and have that time to myself. And some people are just so busy that they don't realize that the time that they have now, after they don't have to work so hard because of the income that they're making through this company, is so precious, right? For me, I always say like time is the new rich, for me, because I know I used to work like so many jobs, and like 20-hour days were my normal days. This is before, obviously having a child. And I'm like, wow, when I think of the time that I have now, the time freedom, I'm like, although I am busy with business, I have more control and I have more options. So that is something that I really, really am grateful for, and learning those things. So yeah, take a snapshot of like a picture of maybe you on the porch, or your patio or something, or you just taking a walk, something behind the scenes, and just sharing a little bit of your life. All right. Another post is post about a new habit or a skill. Talk about it and say, that what you're learning, why is this skill, what is it incorporating in your business? What does it have to do with your why? I put some examples here as you guys were on the call, or most of you were on that call with Cole. You probably learned a little bit about mining, right? So maybe you want to post like, oh, I just learned about mining and what the pros and cons of it. Or you can put one nugget that you took from Cole's presentation and post about it. And maybe you can stir up a conversation. And now people know like, oh, okay, so Christian's into mining, I guess, or maybe he's the crypto person that I need to go to if I ever comes across my way, right? So I also put this meal prepping thing because this is something related to me, because me and my husband just started prep mealing. A friend of ours who owns a gym, I've been trying to like hide from him for a long time. I said, okay, fine, let's do this, make me a meal plan and I will follow it to a T, and me and my husband are going to do it, and we have done it, and we're actually really glad we did, because the fact that we're doing together is one thing. Another thing is that we've both lost like he's lost like 10 pounds, I've lost 13 pounds just following his meal plan, and that's like a habit that I had to create, because that is not what we do. We both like to eat, we like to eat whenever we want to, we're very busy, so we only eat when we're hungry. But I didn't realize that there's actually, even though I've been in the health industry for so long in terms of building businesses, there's actually a point to, eating certain amounts of food at the same time, and what kinds of food you're eating is very, very important, and, to cause less sugar, insulin spikes and all that stuff. So now I'm learning that new skill, and I can post about that. And I've talked to so many people about it, and now they're trying it. And it's funny how you get so excited about doing something, and people see your results and they want to do it too. So that's basically what we do in this kind of industry, right? We do what we, care about and we're passionate about, and we share it with people, and naturally people just want to do it already. Like there's like, I don't know, 5 people now in my circle that are now doing this because of the testimony I gave from this. And I'm not getting paid for the meal prep, but it was something I was excited for. So imagine if you're doing that for your business. The next one is an outfit check. So a lot of people if you see on TikTok or Instagram or social media, sometimes are wearing like different outfits. Well, what if you put up a question to people and just ask, what are you wearing when you're running your business? And then you can put a poll and say, leggings, pajamas, or a suit. And now that we're in this Zoom kind of call world, sometimes people are wearing pajamas or half business at the top and then half pajamas at the bottom. I've seen a lot of those. And I am one of those too. Sometimes when I'm rushing, I'm like, hey, as long as this top part looks good, we're all good to go. And sometimes people are like, no, I always dress to the T in a suit or in a business suit, whatever it is. And that right there stirs up a conversation, right? You can even have little side conversations about like, oh, someone's like, oh, I wear a suit. What do you do? Right? And they're like, oh, I'm a lawyer, or like, okay, I'm a business owner. Oh, what business do you own? Like, this is a conversation that you can naturally come up with in terms of promoting your own business. Another post could be joining the team. So as you know, as being a part of New Era, you get to be involved in these calls. You get to be involved in a lot of community things, a lot of chats, which kind of makes you feel like you belong to something. And a lot of people nowadays, I feel they feel lonely, and they feel like they're lost and they're not a part of something. But we all have this natural desire to be a part of something and to have that care for, and to feel that love around, right? And when we're together as a team, we're like, yeah, we're rooting for each other, we're encouraging each other. It's such a good, like, positive feeling that people, I think, have like don't have anymore, right? So you can post about like, man, I love my team, or and I love my team, and people might ask you like, what team is this, like, what do you do, right? Or just mentioning the opportunity to join you, and you're just like, join you for what? And that will also stir up a conversation, right? Or join our New Era family, right? And where you can learn about how to make passive income online, right? There's a lot of keywords there where people where you can throw out the net, and then people will kind of be like looking at like, what is this? What is Tom doing? What is he doing now, talking about joining his team? Those are those conversations where you want people to actually message you. And trust me, people are looking at your post and they're like, ooh, I want to message Tom, but like, maybe I'm kind of scared to message him, because what if he tries to get me into something and blah, 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 right? So it's okay, because they're watching you, they see you. I watched so many people that are posting about their business, and some people do it really like not so well, and some people do it with so much taste where I am like, wow, like they did that really well, and I'm taking down notes. Like that's a great way to actually present your business, because it makes me even want to be like, hey, like I would love to join a team, but obviously I wouldn't. But I'm just saying it's a good example of how they do it. Another one is self-care. So what do you do to to look after yourself, right? Is it exercise, meditation, reading, cooking? I mentioned gardening, having a bath. Like my husband loves cooking, so he does a lot of the cooking, and I just let him, because he's like in this zone, and he's like, it's like he's on a YouTube channel and he's talking. He's like, I gotta cut this and I gotta put the seasoning, and he's teaching me while he cooks, and I love it. I love watching him do that. And then for me, and he loves this too, but massages are always our thing. I love a good bubble bath because it's just like me and reading, and or even on sometimes I'll be on my phone too to just like scroll and just enjoy that time by myself. What do you like to do? You know, do you even know what you like to do? Maybe you want to share that on a post and ask people what they like to do to stir up a conversation as well. And then something like I know a lot of people have Twitter, but I actually don't have Twitter, but a lot of people on Twitter would always post their thoughts, right? So sharing something that's on their mind, whether it's like something to do with current events. Like I know a lot of people might not like to talk about politics. I'm not the one to talk about it, but when I went away for the weekend for my birthday, we met up with cousins in the States, and then my cousin was like, "So what do you think about about Trump possibly being the next president again?" And I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh, we're talking about that?" Okay, because then of what had happened to him and Joe Biden like coming down or whatever. And so it was something like, oh, are probably gonna post something. If you had shared something about politics, I'm sure a lot of people will jump in and have these conversations. And you know, you gotta keep it clean and stuff, because you don't want to argue with people, but you want to share and respect everybody's thoughts, right? So that's also something. Another idea to post online is about, you know, giving a shout out to your company on a product deal or promotion or anything about it. Like for New Era example, we have a Visa card that we can put crypto, like our crypto on it that we can use. Like that's amazing, right? Not a lot of people will have that. We can be proud that we have that. You can post about it while you're using something. There's tons of videos out there that some of the corporate team has literally walked up to an ATM machine, put their New Era card in there, taken out money from the machine. Like that's a cool you know, post right there to be like, oh, what is that? What are you taking money out? Because sometimes when people hear crypto, they're like, oh, that's just crypto. What does that mean? They don't realize that you can actually use that in your daily life, right? So that's really exciting to do as well. Or you can talk about like, oh, wow, you know, just one of our starting packages is $50. $50, and you can be on this call every Friday learning, growing personally and professionally. You can learn about cryptocurrency from like an expert, and you could be around these people that you get to learn from, and they're just pouring into you constantly. Like that's priceless, you guys. Like $50, I spend that easily at like, you know, if I go to a fast food place, if I go if I go to a fast food place, I can easily spend $50 on me and my husband and maybe my nephew or something like that. You know, but what did that get me? Nothing. Got me junk and it got me unhealthy, right? But $50 to have education, like they always say that you know, when you invest in yourself, it's the best investment you can ever do, especially when you're learning something, especially when you get all the things that you can get from our platform. And that is it for now, for today. And then next week, we'll do another round of prompts and stuff. And so if people are like, okay, this is cool, I don't know where to start or whatever, you can message me and we can chat about it. I can give you a little bit more advice. But come onto these calls, watch the recording if you can. You can also look online for different examples of how people post and follow people that you like so that you can actually see their style and just take it, but not copy it, but like take it and kind of get inspired and do it yourself. But what I'd like to share is that on social media, just be yourself, because you are the brand. Like you are the person that they want to follow, right? It's not really based on the product or the service. Yes, that has a lot to do with it, but people want to know your personality and what it's like to kind of be in your community or in your circle. And just that one click of a follow can lead to a long lasting business relationship, or they can be a forever client of yours in your business, whether it's New Era or your own business. But I really highly recommend to get out of your comfort zone and get online and try a few of these posts that we recommend. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for being on this call again. Really appreciate all your time. And Ibrahim, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share, as always.